We're back again, and we hope you're doing just as amazing as we are. This is Making Money, the podcast. My name is Priva, and we are talking about marriage and finances. Usually, marriage is a journey that combines two lives and two financial journeys. But when you get to navigating that money together as a couple, it can be very challenging, whether you're budgeting, whether you're planning for the future, whether you're trying to save. There are two outcomes out of this. Either it's going to make your bond better, or you could even make it worse. The choice is yours, yeah? But joining me to help us unpack this conversation is Olivia Kisori. She is the Financial Education Advisor at DSIK. It's a non-governmental organization. We're going to be looking at how you can have a healthy financial foundation for your partnership. Thank you for joining us, Olivia.
Thank you very much, Priva, for having me here.
We're talking about marriage. Are you married yourself?
Yes, I am married.
I first flash that ring. The camera is there.
I am married. I've been married for 4 years.
Wow.
And in just, I think, under a month, I'll be making 5.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're almost there to a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of divorce happening. So we celebrate even the smallest milestones.
Surely.
As a young girl, did you ever see yourself getting married down the road?
Maybe yes, maybe no. Not very sure. But growing up with my mom and dad, living together until I actually left home. So I somehow knew it was the path, kinda. But I didn't know when and maybe with who. Yeah.
But eventually you did it on your own terms.
Yes.
And how did you do it? Let's talk about the planning, the budgeting that comes with weddings. Some people have this notion, preconceived idea that weddings are expensive. Is that the case, or it's depending on case-to-case basis?
It depends on who really is looking at it and who is doing it and how they want to do it. Personally, even, in Uganda, before you do a wedding, you have those functions to the wedding.
Yes.
You have the visiting the
Chala.
parents, the kuchala, and then we have the traditional, all those two weddings, those two functions, I did them small and I did them in-house.
Wow.
Yes.
How did you survive the pressure from your relatives? Because I'm thinking the Ugandan setting, you have your auntie's aunt who also wants to attend.
For me, it was about my parents. They agreed. I sat down with them. I knew my partner. I knew his financial stand. I sat down with my parents and I explained to them, and they told me, look, Olivia, if that is your choice, we cannot go to tell you anything about it. And we are your parents. We raised you. So in whatever form your husband comes, we shall receive him.
Yeah.
Yes. So once I had that confirmation from my parents, I knew nothing else would move me.
Did you and your husband have the same idea when it came to the wedding? Did you all want the same thing, or?
No. My husband and I are two different people when it comes to finances, two different people when it comes to functions. He always envisioned big functions. Even for the traditional marriage, he said, we need to do this. And this was something big. And I would just, in my head, I'm like, okay. Big. And then he says, we can even give it some time to the wedding. We'll recover from that financial strain. And then we do the wedding. I didn't see it that way. So for me, in my head, I knew what I really wanted in my mind. So I wanted a small function. I didn't want to be constrained. Luckily enough, these functions were even coming when already I was financially literate. So I knew what it meant. I knew the financial burdens that these functions cause. So I didn't want to start my marriage on that foundation of maybe debt. And then maybe we are quarreling on who's settling the debt and all that. I wanted us to quarrel about something else, not the debts.
Not the debts.
No.
Now, you said you've been married for now 4 to 5 years as we speak. That means the wedding happened during COVID.
Sure.
How did you bring your small gathering together?
For me, COVID was actually, I could say, a blessing in disguise, because it really helped me to make my husband understand what I meant I wanted.
For your wedding.
In terms of the wedding. So with the wedding, the SOPs that were there at that time, you can't have big gatherings and all that. I said, okay, this is good. And so we started to work on our guest lists For starters, his was long. I said, okay, that is good. But, because you have booked, especially the hotel, the food, usually I think is one of the biggest budgets, food, So I asked him, how much of this do we have? And so he's like, no, so-and-so is going to give us $1 million, so-and-so will give us 500, so-and-so 200. I'm like, okay, no problem. We have reserved the venue and for our guests. As days drew closer, I asked, so how much do we have? And the man is not forthcoming.
They were just pledges.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even those who were pledging, we're not pledging the amounts they really expected. So for me, I'm like, so do you see now the reality? So we need to get real. Can we start cutting our guest lists? But thanks to our parents, again, because they were very instrumental in helping us do this.
Yes.
So they told us, please live within the means. Do what you can afford. So that really now sank into him. And then we had to sit down again and tone down everything. And I think we had a guest list of, maximum 80.
80 people. No, when I'm going to get married, I'm definitely going to give you that call again because I definitely prefer small weddings.
Yes, yeah.
So now the wedding is out of the way. You guys are now a married couple. You're living together. What was the first financial shock?
The first financial shock. We live together. We get together. I think we even did go to honeymoon.
Oh.
We did go to honeymoon. And why is, we had honeymoon, but we didn't travel to somewhere.
Maldives.
The first shocker was we didn't have the money. We didn't have the money because we had tried to live within the means. And so we spent almost what we had. And my husband did not have income
at the time.
Through. Yes.
Wow.
So that was really a shocker because we had not lived before together. So we're moving into an apartment.
Yes.
That needed to be furnished. Yes. So we moved into it empty.
As a young couple.
Yes.
How do you then get over this? How do you manage to make sure that is in the past?
One, we accepted that this is us. This is reality. This is what we have, But thankfully, I had an income coming. Yes, I had an income coming in. And so we said, we will do this at our pace, no rush, because it was just the two of us. No nanny, no anything. It was us managing the home. And so we even furnished our home at our own pace, bit by bit until we got there.
Until you got exactly what you wanted for yourselves.
Yeah.
Now we've stabilized. Yeah, there's money coming in. You're trying to find a way to meet the expenses. How then do you sit with your husband to say, you know what, these are going to be our daily expenses and these are our financial goals as a couple?
First of all, the situation did not stay like that for really long. Fortunately or unfortunately, our baby came along the way. I must say maybe we didn't see it come also, but it came.
Yes,
it happened.
Yes.
And shortly before he was born, he had a job and a good one.
Nice.
Yes. And with good income. And so things had to change. He had to take up now the roles, providing for the family, taking care of us and all that. And it was good. But we needed to sit down and say, you know what? First, what we agreed to, I never wanted these things of in the middle of the month and they're telling me there's no salt. There's no this, there's no that. So we agreed on a monthly, I had to draw a budget for the house.
Yeah.
On a monthly, I drew a budget for the house. So either he would go shopping to buy the things and upfront for the month, or I would go shopping either way. So at least I knew every start of the month every end of month that was sorted until the next end of month. Yes. Then we started to sit down and write down our goals and say we want to have a home. We want to do this. I think we even had an idea of buying like farmland and all those. Then we start to prioritize them and we're asking ourselves, how do we get there?
Yeah.
Yes. And still all those, we are working on them step by step.
One by one.
Yes.
So now you're living together. There's a child. Probably you need help. Like you said, now you have demanding jobs. How then do you make sure even the people that you've left behind are actually following the rules of the house when it comes to finances and expenditure?
Of course, house helps always disturb a lot. But as a mother that is also working, you have a job, you have a career that you're chasing, you can't run away from them.
Yeah.
You can't run away from them. Of course, the best could be if maybe you have your mother and is able to help and all that. But it happens that my mother lives so far away from the city.
Yes.
So I can't have the liberty of saying she's helping me take care of my family or my children. So we definitely really had help come in. But when the helps come, I am very intentional about orienting them. I orient them on the rules of the house. I make them know that I plan my shopping for a month.
Yes.
So this does not mean that you have plenty and so you should be extravagant. Yes. I even go to a point where I plan. Say we are buying this quantity of fish and it's for the month. We freeze it. We are buying this quantity of meat and it's for the month. We freeze it
that
as well. I knew maybe we are having this quantity of beans. And so they knew, and it even makes their work easy, especially when we have a little baby. Sometimes they need more attention, need more time with the children. So when these things are readily available, they also plan their cooking, how they go around their work. So I really take time to orient the maids. Although sometimes some of them take it hard, or it is hard for them to adjust, but slowly by slowly.
They eventually get there.
Yes.
Yeah. What would your advice be to the young couples, especially the newlyweds, and they're trying to live together as a family, and then there's the issue of finances? What would your advice be? What can they do differently?
One is weddings are here, they will be here, and they're not yet to go away, or the marriage functions whatsoever. But let's try as much as possible to put a good foundation. Don't start your marriage on debt.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think that would even be a big source of conflict. After you work the functions, you start living together, and some service provider or someone is calling, demanding their balance, unpaid money, Sometimes you even make agreements with these people. When are you going to pay me my balance, So someone is on your case. You start taking up someone's calls. They are calling your husband. Before you know it, people are fighting in the house. That wouldn't be a nice foundation to start from.
Yes.
So I would advise the young couples, young people that are planning their functions, their marriages, work within your means. Within your means. If you really must incur a debt, let it be a very small debt that you can be able to offset in a small time. Don't plan your functions on other people.
Yes.
I always find this very burdensome for me. Someone hasn't talked to you in years, but because they're organizing a wedding or an introduction ceremony, now they look for you. You find a message in your WhatsApp group, in your WhatsApp.
You're texting strangers, thinking they're your friends.
Not even asking first, remembering how have you been and all that. They're just sending you messages or adding it to WhatsApp groups, for functions. Don't rely on other people.
Yes.
See that if possible, people should have really the biggest percentage of their budget and then look out for the small one on the others. In that way, you're even managing your expectations. If it comes, thank God. You can even, if it comes and surpasses your expectation, you can use it for something else.
Yes.
For the good. If it doesn't come, it's still okay. You know that you have a smaller burden to deal with when the functions are over.
Eventually happen.
Yes.
How then do young families manage to save? How can they prepare for those rainy days?
Saving is something that really, really, really everybody needs to think about.
Yes.
And I think sometimes before we even get into this union of the two becoming one, we should agree about some of these things. We should learn some of these skills, like the skill of saving. I feel like saving should be a part of everyone's life. When it's a part of your life, then you're not struggling with it when the two become one.
Yes.
But usually it breaks when we get into marriages. It's one person who knows what it means to save, the importance of saving and how to save. Another person thinks, no, let's spend the money. Tomorrow we shall make it. It's not true sometimes, because there are those moments that will come and the money is not there.
Yes.
We have seen it recently. Okay, from the time even of COVID, many people lost jobs. We have seen it recently. Many people still were laid off.
Yes.
Because of so many things here and there, the Trump things,
Cutting aid,
all those things. So reality hits you and now you start struggling. So we need to agree as couples, work on joint goals as a family and work on saving as a family and nurture that even through your children, continue nurturing it through yourselves. In that way, you've been able to achieve goals and build your home stronger.
As a married person and a mom as well, how have you passed down that skill to your children? How do you tell them to save? How do you encourage that?
Well, my young one is just 4, but I've made him know about money.
Yes.
But I have a small tin at home where myself, I put my coins. So I make sure he's exposed to it. Not to take the coins out, but to know that whenever there is a coin around the house,
I drop it in here.
It has to go in there. Not even into his mouth or for playing, no. And I have made him know that when he wants something, he has to ask. Mommy, I want to have chips. Okay, I'll buy you chips, Mommy, I want to have this, but there's no money. Mommy, do you have money, Or Uncle so has come and given me money. What do? We talk about it together. So I am very intentional about financial parenting because this is also part of my everyday work that I do at GSIK.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm very intentional about young people learning to save at an early age. I did learn this when I was young. I learned it after
along the way.
I was grown along the way. I wouldn't want any young person to miss such a skill, especially if I know I can be able to teach them.
I'm glad you're a financial education advisor, yeah? In this Uganda, we still struggle to save for so many reasons. People don't earn enough, but even those who earn enough still misuse the money. What do you think can be done to help us as a country in general, the millions of people that are in here? How can we be better with our finances?
There are many excuses around people when it comes to saving, but I want to start it from maybe first the biblical point of view.
Yes.
Until you learn to manage the little, you can't manage the big. So we have to start from the small. That little that you have, the 1,000 that you have, how do you manage it? How do you manage it? So let's be very intentional. Money will never be enough. Even me right now, I still look forward to a big pay. I still look forward to big money, but just know every time your income increases,
yes,
even your needs, your preferences, your wants, and everything about
changes
automatically, automatically. If Priva have been hanging around with you in some middle place, now I want to go high end. If I've been hanging up in Uganda, maybe I want to try going to Dubai quite often, So it automatically comes, but we need to build the discipline within us. First, learn the skill. I know it is hard, but learn your personality when it comes to money.
Yes.
Learn your personality when it comes to money. Are you the kind who cannot keep money? Whenever you have money on you, you can't stand the temptation to spend it. Then know where to put that money. And I would advise, put it where you can't easily access it. If you're still not having it on your bank account, you're tempted by your ATM. Nowadays, we can draw money with our phones,
bank to wallet.
Exactly. Maybe buy something, buy an asset that can generate more money.
Yes.
Not okay. Some people would think, okay, let me buy a car or something, but maybe buy something like livestock or so, or land.
Or land, yes, a good investment
that will be appreciating. Matters sometimes can also be hard to liquidate or convert it into cash when you want it. But I would really advise every human being, every person in Uganda, saving is a skill that we all need to learn, nurture, grow, and live by. And live with saving as a way of life.
Olivia, I'm so sorry. We are running out of time. I wish we had enough time because clearly I want to hear more about your wedding. It's clear we are on the same page when it comes to that.
Maybe you can have me back another time.
Yeah. But what is your final advice to the married people out there?
I must say that I have also struggled before with finances. I have something that maybe I can share it another time. I didn't know how to count money, I think, until I was at the university.
Wow.
Very interesting, But because I did not have exposure to, count money,
Cash
know
like
how
that.
to deposit money in the bank, I didn't know all those things. And that's why, like I said earlier, financial parenting is very important. It's very important. Parents, this is something that don't think you're really giving your child the best if you can't give them some of these skills. But that said, every person out there, please, let's try to live within our means.
Yeah.
The life we want to live of pleasing other people, sometimes they're not even watching. No one is even paying attention.
My sister likes to tell me that every time you think somebody is paying attention to you, you're not that much of a big deal. They have things going on. Yeah.
Exactly. People have much. Okay, to be on social media, they'll come and scroll and comment and all, but that is it.
The next day we've moved on.
Yes, we've moved on. So let's learn to live within our means, keep within our means. Money, life is very sweet with money, but we need to learn how to manage that money. And now when two different people come together, your husband and wife, all of us grew up different places, Now it gets even complex. But let's make sure that we are having a discussion, a talk about money if we are to have our marriages stable, strong, and better. And maybe the very last one is there's a very common saying, I don't know, is it by Alvin or so, that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn and relearn. So let's learn and relearn. If you have made some financial mistakes already, learn from them, unlearn them, and learn better
ways to go about it,
so that you can live better, to avoid pressure and stress. Thank you.
Partners knowing each other's salary, is that a thing, or you don't think it is good for marriage and finances?
Very important, knowing each other's income that comes in, because at the end of the day, if you're living as partners, you're now a family. For you to plan better, to grow better, to draw up financial goals for the family, achieve them, you need to know how much income is coming in and how do we plan.
Yes.
Yeah. Like even the Bible says, two are better than one.
Yeah.
Two are better than one. So when two people are bringing income, you're able to achieve better. You plan better. So it's very important.
Plan accordingly. You've had the traditional men who think, hey, a woman is not supposed to know your bank balance. Share with your wife.
Yes.
They're supposed to know. All right. So that is all we had for you on our episode today concerning marriage and finances. Just like you've heard it from Olivia Kisori, it is well. Live within your means. You don't have to do a pompous wedding. You're not Beyonce. Trust me, it's well. We will understand if you invite a few people that you are close to you and execute something that you will even be memorable, by the way, down the line. So for more conversations concerning finances, keep it locked right here on Making Money, the podcast. Until then, goodbye.